spoken to you earlier in Hyderabad when you interviewed me. I spoke to you about my childhood, school days, how I grew up in the family, and so on. But now I am in Bangalore. Today is what?
June 6th.
6th June 2012. I would like to share with you some of my memories of the freedom movement. I became aware of the freedom movement only after my father moved to Nellore from Vijayanagar in 1928. We used to live in a house very close to the Maidan where all Congress meetings were being held. So we had a sort of uh, a gallery view of the what was happening there. If we went up our terrace, you could see what was happening. I remember 2 or 3 incidents very vividly. One was of a lady, she was standing on a culvert wall on the roadside with a Congress flag. You know, the Congress flag was the same tricolor that we have now, but with a spinning wheel instead of the Ashok Chakra. This lady was beaten by a policeman. She was about to faint, but she refused to fall down until somebody else picked up that flag from her hand. Then she swooned. This I have seen with my own eyes. Another was that another volunteer in another meeting, a policeman beat up a fellow. He was bleeding from the head. He was beaten on the head. I think there was a skull fracture. He was bleeding and he fell down and the policeman stabbed with his foot on his stomach. This also I have seen. A third one was not at that place, but there used to be a temple, Anjaneya Swami temple, Nellore, very near our house. I happened to go there. I know who took me there or anything, but I happened to go there. It was a meeting where ladies were giving up their foreign clothes and wearing khadi, and the foreign clothes were being burnt in a big bonfire. I remember one lady removing her saree and saree, and immediately somebody covering her up with a khadi saree, and that saree being put in the flames. These are, and one more thing I remember is a fellow died while during the meeting because of police firing or lathi charge. They carried him, they decked him with a lot of flowers and all that, carried him away from the meeting. So these are some of the things I remember about the 1930, that is the salt satyagraha days. It was then that I became aware of a person called Motilal Nehru. He died around that time. And my brothers were all back home from school very early. And they told me that they were pulled out by senior students as a matter of respect for the Motilal Nehru. So I asked him who this Motilal Nehru was, and I was told he was a big leader of the Congress and so on. These are some of the events of 1930 I remember at Nellore. And after the salt satyagraha, the freedom movement quieted a lot. But I can tell you one thing, Gandhiji carried out the freedom movement in spurts. He never did it in a very continuous fashion. There were 1 or 2 years some boycott of Simon Commission, non-cooperation movement, no tax campaign, no salt satyagraha like that between 1919 and 1930. And after 1930, a lot of people who have gone to jail, he decided to call off the satyagraha. And for several years there was very little proactive movement of this. But there used to be meetings, gatherings, leaders moving around the country, preaching and all.